Hey guys, so I wanted to do kind of a quick, kind of crude video, crudely made video um, that I tried doing earlier, and just know it's going to be kind of a weird situation with how we do this because of the angles and stuff. But I wanted to show you what you need to do if you ever want to clean your PS5 slash if you want to see if you have the sticker issue that a lot of people are having with the PS5 where the sticker is kind of getting sucked into the fan and making a really loud noise. There is a way you can get into this console all the way down to the fan without voiding your warranty, which is what no one wants to do. Everyone's kind of scared of taking these things apart. Any console that is new, everyone is they really baby them, and I do the same thing, so there's nothing wrong with that. But there is also good ways to open them up for reasons of, you need to clean them, you need to do things like that. I love taking apart consoles, and I love taking apart especially consoles that are dirty and cleaning them. I don't know what it is. I just think it's really cathartic in a way. I don't know. But I've been taking apart consoles for a long time, and I have to say, out of all the consoles that I have to take apart to clean, this is probably one of the easiest, and it's because they kind of intentionally did that. So let's get into it. I'm going to be having to move the camera around a little bit so you can see certain aspects of it, so bear with me on that. I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible. So the things you're going to need for this are, if you have your stand, you're going to need a flathead screwdriver, and you're going to need the security bit screwdriver. So this is a, what's the specific... T8H50 security screwdriver. It has the star on it. It's what all PlayStations use pretty much, besides I think from like PS3 down or PS3 up. It has this kind of screwdriver. You can use it, so it's worth the price. You can get it off Amazon pretty cheap. Sometimes you can get it in a kit, which is awesome too. This takes apart PS3, PS4, PS5, all kinds of stuff. So this is the one real thing you're going to need for this entire video, besides cleaning supplies, of course. So first thing we gotta do is take off the stand, which everyone knows how to do because it's part of the instructions. You really just get the flathead screwdriver in there and you unscrew it. Now, I know a lot of people do not enjoy unscrewing this, and they don't enjoy having a screw in their stand, but I think it's kind of fun to take apart that way. I love taking things apart, and I just think it's easy. Honestly, you can just use your fingers for most of it to get it off. So besides maybe one turn at the beginning and the end. So we'll put that in our stand just because we don't want to lose it. So it goes in there, obviously. That's all basic stuff. You don't need to put the cap on the bottom of this because you're going to be putting it back the way it is naturally. So now we're going to take the face plates off. Now, they have many videos on how to do this. Let me move this down. You're going to be seeing kind of my crotch, so I apologize. But it'll be easier to kind of see what we're doing here. So this is, a lot of people have shown how to do this. Let me back up so you can actually see it. It's pretty easy. It's actually very easy. So what you want to do is on both sides, we'll do both sides. If you're looking to clean this, you really only need to take off the side that has the disk drive or the side that is opposite of the PlayStation symbol or whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to take off both just so we can see how they work. So what you want to do is you want to look at the corner with the PlayStation symbol and the opposite corner, and those are going to be the ones that you pull up on. So we're going to start with the one with the PlayStation symbol. What you want to do is the PlayStation symbol's right here. You want to just barely move it up, and you want to grab onto kind of the base of the PlayStation and just barely pull on it and just give it a little bit of pressure, and you'll feel it let go. It's very simple, very easy, doesn't take a lot of effort. Just if you feel like you're pulling really hard and it's not coming off, reset and try again because you don't want to break this or any of the brackets or anything like that. So that's first faceplate. As you can see, we have the on this side we have the fan, and this is a pretty simple side. This is our dust catchers here. So if you're looking to clean, this is where they say to vacuum out. You got one here, you got one here. I think there's another one too. I don't know. There's one here, I think. Now, the one thing I've noticed that no one's really talked about, there are scratches that you can get from these little brackets on here coming off when you pull the PlayStation off. So when you do this, try to not let it move so much that it goes across the whole PlayStation because it'll scratch it. It's not a huge deal. You never see it. So if you don't care, it's not a big deal. But, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip this back over. Yet again, find the corner. It's really on the smallest part of this, not the front, but the back. Lift it up. barely pull on it. See, and then if it does there, it's easy. So if it feels like you're getting a little too much resistance, put it back down and try again, because it really should just slide right off. Sometimes it's a little finicky because you have a lot of these on here that have to move. So just know that. But yeah, you're good there. So if you're looking to, this is where they're going to let you kind of customize and clean on this. It's very easy. We've gone through all of that. So on this side, if you flip it over, we have our disk drive. We have our SSD slot. This is where we're going to get our expandable storage, which isn't out yet. This just requires a Phillips head, so it's very easy to install there. And it already looks like you've taken it apart quite a ways. But what we're going to do next is so this is the front of the console, and you have these ribbed like plastic pieces. And they are going to be kind of in the way, because the side you want to focus on if you want to clean the fan is this side. This is the side with the SSD drive, and this is the side with the CD drive. You want to focus on this side because this is where the screws to the fan are. And they're kind of covering them with this. So what you have to do is there are kind of edges here, and you want to just kind of get to like one of these edges over here and just pull up, and it'll instantly start separating. And it just kind of comes off like that. It's very simple. The first time might be a little bit more difficult because it's not used to it, but it secures itself well, and it comes off very easily. So now that we have this piece off, which is so far it's only been pulling things apart, mind you, we haven't unscrewed anything besides the stand. Now we're going to unscrew the fan. Now I'm not going to be able to get a good angle on this while I do it, so I'm going to show you now. You want to get your security bit screwdriver, and you're going to be looking at these corners here. Now the thing you really want to be careful with is these screws are not all the same. So the bottom two screws here that are facing the disk drive are going to be smaller, and I'll show you when I take them out. They're going to be smaller, smaller threading that's on the screw itself. And they're the same, but what you want to make sure is that when you reinstall them, you want to use those same ones. So let's take those off now, and I will show you what I'm talking about. So as I said, you have your security screws. Actually, before I do this, I wanted to also show you where the voided warranty section is. Right here, let's get a little bit closer. Right here, this is all kind of like a tough plastic tape. On this side here, this is what will void your warranty. So if you ever have to take this fully apart, this is what you remove. But if you're looking to not void your warranty, don't remove this. We can't fully remove the fan. That's the problem. We can't fully unplug it and take it out of the system because this will have to be removed. So that's the one downside. But as long as this is on, your warranty is still good to go. So just remember that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start unscrewing. I'm just going to do the bottom two for now because I want to show you what they all look like, because the biggest problem you could run into is forgetting what screws go where, and you could put them in the wrong spot and you'll end up screwing up the threading on your system, and they'll go in the wrong spot, and then you run into loads of problems. So the thing you have to remember, right now I'm unscrewing the bottom. If it's facing vertically, I'm unscrewing the bottom two. And this is what we're going to be looking at right here. So let's see if I can get it back in focus. It was almost, there we go. These have smaller threads on them. They're very thin, and they look exactly the same on the bottom. So I just took both of those out. Next, we're going to look at, if you're looking at the fan this way, I'm going to be taking off the top right screw. So on this side where I am actually doing it, the top right screw is right here facing the back of the PlayStation. This is the next, the top two are both different screws. So forgive me if I sound like I'm being a little too thorough with this. I want to make sure people are doing this right, because I could totally see people screwing that up and not knowing that the screws are very different. So here's the one that I just took out. See how the threading's bigger? And this is the one that I took out before it. It's not only longer, but it is also the threads are more spaced apart. So that's the top right screw out of the 4 screws. The top left screw is the one that is the furthest up, also facing the front of the console slash the extended storage drive. And the difference between that one is it's a lot smaller. So the threads are bigger and it's tiny. Like here's the one that goes across it. See how much smaller it is? So just remember that. So you can kind of lay your screws out the way they go. So if you want to put one here, and then the two at the bottom, you can. That's a good way. But the cage for the fan will just come off. So you set that aside. And this is going to be kind of hard to show you. But you have... let's move this here real quick. So looking at the fan, you have the wires here. So be careful of these because this is what's connecting to the voided warranty sticker section that I was talking about. And you have your fan. So let me set you back up. Sorry. This is so jank the way I'm doing this. But you just want to make sure when you lift this out, you are being courteous to the wires. So you want to be very careful. And you can just pull it right out. Now you can kind of set it this way or set it any way you want. And then I'll get the camera again and kind of show you what we're looking at now. So this is what we're at. This is the fan. And then you have the kind of the place where the fan goes. And if you want to check for that sticker, it's going to be, let me see, am I showing this right? I'm kind of, I do this so badly. It's going to be right by the heat sink, which is facing towards the back of the console. That's where you might find that sticker. I didn't have the sticker. I didn't have any issues with that. But the good thing about this is you can clean the fan very easily. You can like literally clean the blades as much as you want, and you can clean kind of into the heat sink and inside here. So that's the best part of that. So that's really as far as you can kind of go, besides taking off the solid state, or not the solid state drive, but the extended storage drive. That's about as far as you can go with this without really voiding warranty. I mean, you can probably mess around with the disk drive, but when it comes to cleaning and checking for that sticker, that's what you can do. So to put it back, you just got to be kind of gentle and just reline it up. There are these like black plastic pieces that stick out that you just set the fan into, so it's set back in its original place. The wires, make sure they're still inside the little track they're supposed to go in. And when you put this back on, you're going to see there's a little extra piece here. That's what's going to cover the wires to the fan. So that's what will tell you where the which way this sits. So you just kind of set it in. It goes into these little plastic pieces. And then you just got to make sure you have your screws right, which we've discussed almost to nauseum at this point. So if you have the PlayStation facing the way it's facing me, where the disk drive is at the bottom and the fan's at the top left screw is going to be the small one. So we're going to put that in with our security bit screwdriver. Top right is going to be the wider thread longer screw, which is the only one of its kind out of this. So you're going to put that back on just like that. And then you have the two smaller spaced threaded longer screws that go to the bottom. And those are the only two that are alike. And that's a kind of an easy way to remember, is that they both go to the bottom if it's facing vertically. So put those back in. And make sure they're snug, make sure they go in and they don't have a lot of wiggle room, because you don't want the fan to start rattling. So when the fan spins when you're playing, it could rattle this cage that's kind of on the outside of it, and you don't want that to happen. So just kind of check on all of them, make sure they're all in pretty good. Don't make them too tight, obviously, just like screwing anything in. So we're back to the fan being back in its spot. So we're done there. Now it's just putting it back together. So next, what you want to do is everything in reverse, obviously. But you have your plastic piece here. Be aware there are these little extra spaces on top here on each side. So you want to start with those. You don't want to start from the middle, because these have to go in first. So you just line them up, slide them in like so. And then you push down from the middle and from the sides and just give it one click. Usually clicks in on its own. So you got this back on here, and the one on this side comes off the same way if you ever need to do that, but there's not a whole lot of reason to right now, at least. And then we just got to put the faceplate back on, which is very easy. So we are going to do the disk drive side first. Now you just want to make sure, obviously, you have it facing the side where the disk comes out, and just kind of lay it where you think it'll go, and it'll kind of fall into place. It'll just kind of you can tell it's in. It's very obvious that it's in place, and it's where it needs to be. And it's not secured yet, so what you want to do is kind of the same thing you did with taking it apart. You want to grab this lip here, the white part of at the bottom, and put like your thumb and then your hand over, and then you just want to grab the shiny part here over and just give it a nice push. You should be able to trust yourself with this because it should feel like it's secured. I mean, you really can tell that it's in the right spot. And you just give it a nice little push, and you'll get a click. When you get a click, the shell is back on. So we're just going to do the same thing with this side. You want to line it up. Obviously, if you want to figure out which way this one faces, since it doesn't have a disk drive, the PlayStation symbol should be on the left. And you just set it down. It kind of falls in place. A little click. And we have both shells back on. So that's really all there is to it. I mean, you just, whether you set it horizontally or vertically, that's all you have to do with that. It's all back together and good to go. And I'm going to put this back the way it was. I like it vertically. That's how I have it set up. The only thing just a reminder, you know, if you don't feel comfortable doing these things, if you feel like you have, you're afraid to use any, like even a screwdriver, I would maybe not try this. Obviously, if you're younger and you have never done this before, ask your parents before doing it, because these are very expensive consoles, and if they ever break or if you ever void the warranty on them, you're kind of out of luck. So if you're watching this and you've never done this before, really pay attention to what you're doing. It seems simple when you watch it, but also it can be a little difficult as well. So I just wanted to let you guys know, because I just did all that. Didn't take too long even explaining, and it's set back up, and you were able to check and see if you have the sticker issue. You also know now how you can clean your console, and once it starts, you know, we get a couple years into this, and your console is going to start building up dust, you're going to want to know how to take it apart, at least down to that. I love that about this console, because all of the other consoles I have were not intended to be taken apart. They're meant to be sent out, and they clean them for you, they take them apart for you, they fix things for you. But this one, they made it very easy for you to clean. So it's a good thing to know how to do. And I'm glad you guys were able to kind of check it out and see how it works. If you have any questions, leave any comments down below, and I can help explain the best best I can, to the best of my ability, and we can go from there. So I appreciate you watching this. I apologize to the people who are just looking for one. I know there are many times I've looked up videos on YouTube and I just am looking for one thing that they do, and you have to kind of skip through the video. So I apologize if you're still watching this and you just needed this one little piece of advice or how to do a certain thing. I hope I helped you there. So that's going to do it for this video. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.